Hey guys, we're live on the moon Thursday night. High adventure, big time high adventure. 9:55 p.m. the 31st of May, almost June, guys. And the moon is high, the moon is clear. I put in my Barlow and it looks so near. And I'm a poet. Uh, I did, and look where I landed up. I was all ready in focus. Everything was perfect. I'm sitting right off of where we were last night. Uh, Laplace Promontory is at your 9:30. But look at the Mar. Look how beautiful it is. And and look at all the color. Absolutely incredible. And I've got a Barlow in and I haven't even zoomed yet. Well, let's do this. This moon is going to be very interesting. It's a very, very, very bright moon. And sometimes, yeah, I really don't like to use filters. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you realize that I don't. Look at that, a slow mover, guys, a slow mover. The bat from hell. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. We looked last night and didn't see one UFO, and here we turned this thing on and there's that sucker just interfering with my presentation. I mean, how do you like that? Look at the quality of the image. Now, what's the lesson? The lesson is atmospherics. The higher the moon in the sky, the better the atmospherics. Usually when the moon comes up on the horizon and you go look at it, it's a harvest moon or whatever, you might see some color, but you're not. But there's a lot of atmospherics, and as the moon goes higher, the higher in the sky it goes, the better the quality of the image, because that means the moon is physically closer to Earth. And see, there's the same view we had last night, except what's the difference between last night and tonight? The difference is the shadow is moved to the left. It's that simple. You can see the shadow line to the left. Well, let's since I've got it right here, Laplace Promontory, and you can see it's at slightly a different angle. And it is an hour later than it was before. But look at the beautiful color, guys. Look at that color. It just stands out at you. It is outstanding color. And we'll go in beyond where we should just to see how close we can get. And you can see when I did it, you can see the effects of atmospherics. So the magic of astronomy is know your bounds. So what you do is you back out a little bit. You back out a little bit, and then you find out whence it starts having less interference from the atmosphere. Did you ever hear of an astronomer say, man, on a winter night, crystal clear, beautiful night, and I can see I can see the smallest detail on these craters on the moon. Well, on a really cold night, that's true. The air, it's cold. There isn't that much heat, and it looks a lot. Now, isn't that beautiful? And it's a lot more stable. Well, we are in the summer and we're going to have atmospherics, but this is an outstanding picture. I'm going to leave that Barlow in for right now, because I have a shot at several things that interest me. We're going to go kind of follow this shot. Look at the color. Doesn't that blow you away, guys? Now you need to just kind of take a deep breath, breathe in and breathe out, and take a look at what I'm showing you. This is some of the most spectacular imagery that I've ever seen from the moon, live and on camera. I mean, it's just like you're sitting here right next to me when I'm running the control, and you're looking at my screen and you're watching it. I know it. I get it up to YouTube, and about an hour after I do it, you can see it. But isn't that just spectacular, beautiful stuff? Incredible. And let's just take a look at that crater that we're looking at. That crater. Let's see. That crater is. Let me go to the right a little bit. Okay. There you can see the Alps, and the crater that is centered, kind of centered at the south of center. That is Copernicus, and you can see the telltale signs of the Alps just above that. Eratosthenes crater is at the 1 o'clock of Copernicus, and isn't that beautiful? Look at the coloring, at all the variations in the coloring. Isn't that another slow mover, guys? It's going to be one of those nights. Okay. Now we were up here looking at these mountains last night, and you can see the shadow is not, it's further away, so it's not as enunciated as it was last night on the peaks. Okay, let's continue to go. I'm just doing this to give you an idea where we're at, and let's go to the left. There's Copernicus, and I'm interested in an area south of Copernicus. And in particular, let me see if I can find it now. Let me go down a little bit further. I can see it right there. I'm going to center it. Another slow mover, guys. Heading north. These are going all over the place. You think if it was ice, it would flow in one direction like we saw in that one supermoon video. But these are flying up and down and left and right. We got us a flying saucer convention on the moon. Who knows? Air traffic controller's not working correctly tonight up there. Centered, guys, centered is a crater called Kowalski. And Kanoski crater. And let me zoom in for what it's worth. This is a name from George Carl Friedrich Kanoski, German astronomer. Wind's blowing a little bit. I'm inside. I'm not touching the scope. Wind's blowing. 1786 to 1846. See, they name these after famous astronomers and mathematicians. And let's just zoom in for what it's worth. Kanoski. Now I want to go up, so that means I push the down button a little bit. No. I get excited and I push the wrong button, guys. And I'll move it to the left. I'm trying to get Kanoski exactly centered. Well, that's Kanoski kind of centered. And let's go in a little bit further. We're in pretty damn close, that's for sure. Looks like there's a little mountain range there. A little mountain range to the east of Kanowski crater. That crater is, by the way, 11 miles wide. That means that the peaks of those mountains to the immediate right of that are probably less than a mile wide. Those little tiny craters, kind of like at the 4 and the 5 o'clock position, are definitely less than a mile wide. Giving you an idea what in the hell you're looking at. You're getting pretty damn close. Okay, I had my fun with Kanowski, and I'm amazed, totally amazed at this lens. By the way, if you're interested in replicating what I am doing, I'm using a Celestron Nexstar 8SE telescope, which is a Schmidt-Carradine telescope, and I am using a 19 millimeter pan optic lens by Televue, a $300 lens, by the way. And with this particular shot, I'm using a Televue Pyramate 2.5 Barlow, and it's a $200 lens too. But look at the results that I'm getting. Sometimes it pays to spend the money on the lens. Okay, one of my favorite areas in the whole world, and I've been camping out on this area for a long, long time, is what I call Crystal Lake. Crystal Lake is called Mare Humorum. It's centered at the 4:30, 5 o'clock position. Mare Humorum in English means the sea of moisture. One of these days I'm going to, maybe with the full moon, go around and show you all of the different seas in English and explain them. Let's zoom in though. There's a lot of structures. I believe there's alien bases down here, guys. So let's go checking around, snooping around, see if we can see an alien base or two. Now, I've commented before on what I called an atrium to the left of Gassendi crater. First of all, let's take a look at Gassendi. Gassendi crater is right off the Sea of Moisture. See that crater right there, centered? That's called Gassendi crater. And let me zoom in on Gassendi. Now, Gassendi crater is 101, I feel like a one-arm paper hanger. It's 62 miles wide. Okay? 62 miles wide. I've always referred to it as having a ramp. And you can see that ramp at the 7 o'clock position on that crater, kind of going down into the water. Well, it's clearly probably not water, but it's what I call a crystalline material. And then also you can see the pile of rocks. Let's do this. Let's turn autofocus on just for grins and see if it can bring in this any better. Not too bad. See it moving in and out. That's what I've been talking about, called the atmospherics. Atmospherics. Okay, I'm going to turn off the, and let's back it out a little bit, and then I'll focus it up. Back it out. Too much. See when I back it out with this lens, those on the corner, at the 4 o'clock and the 2 o'clock, you saw tunneling. And that's what happens when I'm using a webcam, a C910 Logitech webcam. Now let's just do a manual focus on this. Okay. Now I'm interested in an area just to the west of Gassendi Crater where we were just at. And I'm interested in what I saw before as structures, and I don't think that we're going to see them this time round. I just don't think I can. No, I can't see them this time round. All you can do is come back and try it again. Come back and try it again. See the tunneling? Too far. I've always been interested in what I call Crystal Lake, the sea of moisture. And the reason is because if you look, we're going to look at it really close. If you look at it, it looks like, number one, a lake. They call it a sea, the sea of moisture, but it looks like a lake. And it looks like there's points of light below the surface of that lake. Also, now take a look. Gassendi Crater is at the 10 o'clock position in that. And see how the lake kind of goes up over the lower lip of Gassendi Crater like it's covering the bottom of the crater. Like, you know, it at one time flooded out. And then also look at the bottom of the lake at the 4 o'clock and 4:30 position. You see two craters that both look like they were flooded out by this, you know, those scientists call lava flow. But my contention is that in some light, yeah, you can look at it, and it seems like when the angle of incidence of the light reflects directly on top, it'll look like sand. But when the angle is at an angle, then you can see a whole bunch of colors, and you can actually see kind of below the surface. So let's go in there a little closer and see if we can see below the surface. And you can kind of see layering. And see those two craters at the very bottom, how it appears that the lake just kind of, that's what I call crystal lake. It seems like it's a lake made out of crystal where you can see below the surface. And see all those lights and the various, it's just a fascinating area. Let's continue our search. This is a very good night. And guys, don't you feel like this is high adventure? I mean, it's just like you're sitting right here next to me drinking your Starbucks coffee. In tonight's case, I don't have any Starbucks. I drank it earlier. I'm drinking a glass of water. And you're just enjoying the view, watching my monitor. You know, the telescope's out on the porch. Old Bill's giving you a tour of the moon. Pretty cool. Actually, guys, you think about it. How many astronomers do you know are so way cool like me and giving you a tour of the moon every night? Well, my interest in this stuff occurred a long time ago. I've been interested in video for a long time. And when I first got a telescope, I decided I was going to do live video of the moon. And I bought all the cameras that they sold. I mean, I have them all, guys. And the only one that I'm just kind of, that's Tycho at the 3 o'clock. By the way, yesterday when I gave you a little tour, I said one crater was Tycho. It wasn't. It was the brightest. Usually Tycho's the brightest. Isn't this cool that we're so close? I mean, we're really pretty damn close. And I haven't even zoomed in on my... Matter of fact, let's go down. Let's go down to Tycho again. Okay, and let's just zoom in on it for grins. See the power rocks? That always baffled me. I have a course that I've been taking. Absolutely excellent course on astronomy, put out by the teaching company. It's actually a series of lectures. See how when I bounce back and then all of a sudden I have the camera set up to be automatic. That way I'm not constantly adjusting exposure. Isn't that beautiful, guys? Now, I mean, just take a look at that. That's all by itself beauty. It's really amazing that yesterday I put the Barlow in and we couldn't do too much with it, but tonight, you know, I can actually use the Barlow and see things that, you know, that are really interesting. Now let's go up. Now what's this? This is my ferret. This is my ferret, guys. And let me clarify one more thing since I'm up here. The ferret. It's actually, let me get my map out. I got to tell you, I don't like to tell you fibs. The ferret, what I call the ferret, is Marcrisum, C-R-I-S-I-U-M. Well, in English, that's the Sea of Crisis. Mar means sea, Crisium means crisis. So what I call the ferret is called the Sea of Crisis. So the ferret's hanging out in the Sea of Crisis, guys. And not only that, the Luna 24 did land. As you're looking at this, we're up as 1 o'clock, or up as 12 and down as 6, and then at about the 3:30 or so, at the kind of toward the edge, 3 o'clock toward the edge, Luna 24 landed. Was the last Russian spacecraft to land on the moon. And I think there's another medium mover. And until the Celestine mission in 1994. But anyhow, Luna 24 on August 18th, 1976, landed on there in a soft landing, and it actually collected from 3 meters below. I said 300 meters. It's 3 meters below the surface. 0.6 pounds of moon rock, etc. And on analysis, that rock contained 0.1% of water, which way back then proved that there's water on the moon. If there's water on the moon, you got an atmosphere on the moon. If you got an atmosphere on the moon, you got a whole bunch of color. And what in the hell do you think Bill's showing you? I'm showing you a whole bunch of color. Isn't that beautiful? Take a look at this. The Sea of Serenity is on our left, and the Sea of Tranquility, absolutely stunning, is on our right. Now look at the line of demarcation in the middle. Isn't that an incredible shot, guys? Just take a look at what I'm showing you. Take a deep breath. Sip sip your Starbucks or your water or your beer or your whiskey, you know, good scotch, whatever, and pause and reflect on what I am showing you. Some incredible, beautiful shots. And I'm not even zoomed in. Let's zoom in to the line of demarcation. Everything's auto, so it should automatically, uh, as we get closer, change. Can you believe we are looking at this from a land-based telescope? Absolutely incredible. And let me see if I can give you a frame of reference for what you're looking at. I believe that crater at our 5 o'clock is called Dawes Crater, and Dawes Crater is 11 miles wide. So that means these little dots that you see those smaller ones? Those are probably less than a mile wide or a mile wide, those ones on the right. Let's back out again. A land-based telescope. This Celestron telescope is absolutely an incredible telescope. And guys, if you're, in this telescope only is $1,000. It's not, I mean, it's expensive, but it's not. And I'm using a $68 webcam. So, I mean, anybody can do what I'm doing, and I would encourage it. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. The Sea of Serenity on the left, the Sea of Tranquility on the right. Okay, let's go down and take a look at what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at the Sea of Tranquility, and I'm looking at things below the surface. I mean, take a look at what we're looking at a city under the surface. See, it's not, and it looks like a complicated. I don't know what it is. We lost it. Let's back out to where we can. Let the color kick in natural. Let me go down again. Take a look at that. I mean, it looks like lines, straight lines, like tunnels, like maybe there's a city under the surface and they've got tunnels going from one pod to another. And hey, you you want to let your mind be Tom Corbett or whatever, you have at it. Have at it. Great stuff. Come up on the moon with a high adventure with me, and I'll show you some underground cities on the moon. Okay, centered is Archimedes, and to the 1 o'clock of Archimedes is Aristillus, and to the immediate right of Archimedes, which is centered, is the Apollo 15 landing site. Which was the first site. Matter of fact, I'm not going to go in any further. The atmospherics aren't. It's right in there in that kind of a mountain alcove And I have no idea how in the hell they landed the Apollo 15 there. Okay, let's go back over where we started. I kind of like to do a full circle. There's Plato at the very top. See, you watch my videos, guys. You're going to be so damn smart you won't know what you can get a job as an astronomer. And then again, there's what we were looking at last night, and we're looking at again because it's just so damn beautiful, is Laplace. Laplace. I keep on wanting to call it. It's called the Promontorium Laplace, or Laplace Promontory. See, I wish I took Latin in high school. That way I'd have all these names figured out. And if you take a look, since we're right here, I'm not going to zoom in, but you see the sea. Laplace is kind of centered, and then you got the bottom of the sea going back out to the sea. That's called Promontorium Herculeades. And it wasn't named for Hercules, but it was named for a Greek astronomer that was called Herculeades. I call that whole area the coastlands, but it's actually the Jura Mountains. Okay, guys, that's it. A fantastic session of high adventure. Once again, wishing you and yours clear skies, guys.